Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So this video is basically because I was just having a practice at sculpting. I started and did 2 full nails of Amor from CJP when I decided I'd do a video for YouTube. Just because, yeah, I thought it'd be something good to show you guys. If you watch my previous videos, you'll know that 90% of the time I do use tips, but I do think I prefer the overall look of how sculpted nails come out. So I am really trying to practice this when I can and perfect it, and hopefully do a one-to-one soon, you know, just to get the basics down, as it was a long time ago that I originally qualified in nails. So onto the video. I've done all my prep and I've applied my sculpting form on my thumbnail. I've then dehydrated the nail, but I haven't primed as I'm using CJP, the one monomer, which is primerless. And I'm then coming in with Amor from CJP and just doing a full nail of this. So I applied my first bead, really blended out the back of it, and then brought it down onto the nail form and started to create the shape that I was going for. So I decided to keep them fairly short and not do nothing too adventurous, and I just went for like a pointed almond. And then I applied that next bead, feathered it down over the previous bead, and I'm now going to come in with the cuticle bead. So I'm just applying that at the cuticle area, tilting my thumb downwards, pushing that acrylic up towards the cuticle, getting as close as possible without touching the skin, and then walking the top of that bead down the nail. And I find that this has helped create a nice apex as well, so I didn't need to come in with any further beads. Now the nails, application wise, weren't perfect, but I could fix most of it with a file. So yeah, I was pretty happy with the overall outcome. So I'm just pinching my form in a little bit just to get a bit of a curve in the nail. On my forefinger, if you can see, I am still soaking off just a little bit of acrylic. I started something. I think I was going to do an ombre, and then I changed my mind, so I just quickly went to whip it off, but it had set a little, so popped a bit of acetone on. So moving on, I've done the same on my little finger. I have applied my form and I'm just coming in with a little bit of dehydrator, just because apparently the one works better if you dehydrate before, like immediately before using it. I know a few people have said they've had lifting problems, and this was one of the tips that was given, is, you know, you need to make sure that the nail is free of all oils, etc. So then I'm coming in with a bead of a crystal glass, and basically on this now, what I originally needed to do was just do a thin clear base, as I'm going to be using glitter over the top. But I come in with a bit too much acrylic there, as you see, so I just swiped away half of that, and then I'm just building up the free edge of the nail, making sure that it's over the natural nail and then onto the sculpting form, and then I'm just bringing it down to create that shape. I'm not worrying too much about getting it perfect. As I said, I am only, you know, practicing with sculpting, and it was a little tricky to perfect the shape. And then I'm just going to come in with another bead at that cuticle area, just so that now it's got a complete clear base ready for some glitter on the top. I'm just pushing that up towards the cuticle area and then bringing it down the nail. Now this nail did come out a little too thick. It wasn't exactly a thin clear base, but what I did was I took my form off, filed it into shape, filed over the surface just to thin it out a little bit, so I could apply my glitter without there being too much bulk. So I did also do the exact same on my index finger, but I did that off camera just so the video wasn't super repetitive. So I thought I would leave in here just shaping up that thin clear base ready for the design. So I'm just coming in with a 150 grit file and just really gently, it looks quite vigorous, but it's because the video is sped up, but I'm just gently creating the shape. I feel like, you know, it's the same with tips. If you get your shape there before your acrylic application, then it does halve your finished filing time. So I just basically did that there, and then I just buffed over the surface because my application wasn't really smooth and I wanted a nice smooth base. So then I just gave the nails a quick spray of CJP's Prep Spray Plus just to help clean away all that dust from the nails. And then on the little finger, I'm doing a full nail of this glitter. Now it's from Smileys Glitter store and I think it is called Rose Gold Sparkle, but I'm not 100% sure. But as always, if you check the description box, I leave absolutely everything listed in there. So I just picked this up with a bead of clear acrylic, and it is a multi-cut mix, and I don't have a base or nothing like that down. Like sometimes I'll put a base of a finer glitter or a colour, but this time I'm coming straight in with that multi-cut glitter. So I'm really taking my time to nudge some of the larger pieces around just so I can get a neat cuticle with some of the smaller pieces. So, you know, you can take your time. If you use small, like teeny tiny beads of clear acrylic when you pick up your glitter, you will find that you don't add any unnecessary bulk to the nail. Now, I'm going to be honest, this nail did come out a little bit bulkier than I wanted it to be. Not loads, but a little bit. But again, you know, it's all just practice, isn't it? I was happy with the overall set. So I'm just, again, nudging all that glitter into place, and I'm going to carry on doing this until I'm happy with the coverage of that glitter. And then I will leave that to set before capping so I don't move any of the glitter around. So onto the index finger, I decided to do a glitter fade with Amor and the same glitter I used on the little finger. I am really sorry that it is out of shot. It was just a poor camera angle. But basically I'm applying a bead of Amor at the cuticle area, and I do come back in a shot in a moment, but I'm just fading that down the nail. And then I'm going to fade the glitter from the free edge down towards the cuticle. And please ignore the state of my nails on the other hand. They have been absolutely battered this last week. So I just applied a little bit more acrylic just to get the coverage there, as more can be quite sheer. So I'm pretty sure any moment now when it comes to applying the glitter is when I realised I was out of shot and then come back in. It's actually really tricky recording your own nails. Like if you have any tips, if you do YouTube videos and you're watching my channel and you do your own nails, please let me know any tips in the comments below, because I really struggle with the camera angle when doing my own nails. But yep, again, same as normal, picking up that bead of glitter, picking up that glitter with a bead of clear acrylic, just nudging it around and then slightly feathering it back to create a fade. And then that will just as well as this now be capped in clear acrylic. So here I'm just coming in and capping with crystal glass from CJP. So I'm going to cap this now and the other now with the glitter on it, and then I shall pop back in a moment. So watching this back, this probably was the nail I struggled with the most. My clear acrylic did flood slightly back into the cuticle, so I did go in there and clean it up a little bit. So then I've filed the rest of the nails, but I thought I would leave filing in for this nail. So I'm just filing just underneath of the side walls to straighten them out a little bit, and then I just go around from one side wall around the apex and cuticle area and then up the other side wall, and I basically just keep repeating this but checking all angles, making sure not to over file the apex area. It was a little bulky, so I did just remove a little bit of the bulk, and then coming down the barrel of the nail. And then once I'm happy and feel like I've contoured it as best as possible, that's when I will come in and shape the free edge. So here, as you can see, I'm just sorting out those lower arches first, and then decided just to even it out a little bit more. I do always like to brush away the dust and check from different angles, and that can be a little bit difficult when you're filming. Just making sure that cuticle area is nice and flush. I did all the finish filing on this hand with my hand file, but sometimes I do find I get a nicer finish file if I use my e-file first. So then I just come in with a white buffing block and buff over all of the nails. This I find one of my favourite steps. I love giving the nails a good buff. You know, you shouldn't over buff them if you're using a gel top coat, as it can peel, but I've never personally had any trouble. But I just find buffing, it gets rid of any of those deep scratches from your file and really helps smooth out any lumps or bumps. And then I just noticed that just there, was slightly uneven, so I just sorted that on my file. I'm then coming in with this transfer gel, and I'm going to apply this to my thumb and ring finger. So just applying it like I would top coat, and then I'll pop it in my LED lamp for 30 seconds, and then I just randomly applied my foils. Now this transfer gel is actually really good for full coverage foils. I will try and get a video up showing it, but for this design I just wanted some random foil. So I'm just pressing that into that transfer gel, and then I went and top coated all of the nails, and I did also apply some crystals, but unfortunately I forgot to hit play again on my phone as I'd paused it, and yeah, like an idiot, didn't press play. So this is pretty much the end of the video. If you have enjoyed watching, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love it if you did. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you all again soon. Bye bye.